Hello, students. This is part 2 of the analysis of the essay Negritude, a Humanism of the 20th Century by Leopold Sédar Senghor. In this portion, we will discuss morality in action, contraindication, and complementariness. Senghor explains that each of the identifiable life forces of the universe is a network of elements that are contradictory in appearance but really complementary. The concept of man for the African is composed of body and soul, matter and soul, but he is also the virile and feminine element of several souls. Man is therefore a composite of mobile forces which interlock. This is the morality in action of the negritude. Each of the life forces has a role to play in maintaining the order of the universe. Sages, priests, kings, and doctors are endowed with relevant knowledge to make use of them to help bring the universe to its fulfillment. Here, Senghor stresses the point that each of the life forces, whether it is man or any other being, has a role to play in maintaining the order of the universe. This idea of morality derives from ontology. The order of the universe expresses God by establishing the link with God and the forces emanating from Him. From Singh's account of African ontology, universe is made up of life forces. Each life force is also a network of elements that appear contradictory but are really complementary. Man occupies the fourth in the order of existence after minerals, plants, and animals. Above man is the fourth world of concentric circles, bigger and bigger, higher and higher, until he reaches God along with the whole of universe. The circles beyond man include family, village, nation, humanity, and God. Senghor emphasizes such features of African civilization as its beauty, balance, harmony based on both the community and the person in such a way that the group has priority over individual without crushing him but allowing him to blossom as a person. African civilization gives importance to both community as well as the individual, and it is based on unity, balance, and harmony. These characteristics of negritude, that is, the sum of civilized values of the black world, ensured it a place in contemporary humanism. Therefore, it is a worthy contribution to the civilization of the universal, which is necessary in the divided but interdependent world of 20th century. The ontology of negritude, as has been seen, is thoroughly humanist, emphasizing the active presence and contribution of human in reinforcing the life forces. Aesthetic or stylistic negritude. African art, Senghor observes, is the expression of a certain conception of the world and life. The revolution in art, which are Nabism, Expressionism, etc., which corresponded to the revolution in science, also seems to have corresponded to the African conception of art. For the artist is seen to give expression to his spirituality and not to a purely subject matter. A world of life forces to be tamed is substituted for a closed world of permanent and continuous substances that have to be reproduced. For in Black Africa, art is not a separate activity. It is itself or for itself. It is a social activity, a technique of living, a handicraft, in fact. But it is a major activity that brings all other activities to their fulfillment, like prayer in the Christian Middle Ages, birth and education, marriage and death, sports, or even war. All the human activities, down to the least daily act, must be integrated into the subtle interplay of life forces, family, tribal, national, world, and universal forces. These harmonious interplay of forces must be helped by subordinating the lower forces, mineral, vegetable, and animal, to their relations with man, and the forces of human society to its relation with the divine being through the intermediary of ancestral beings.